Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back to the Uncle Sharma channel. Here today for a Champions League preview. Yes, Champions League is back, baby. And it was a deja vu group for Inter. So I thought, let's run it back with my guy, Muddassir, big Madridista, who last year came on the channel to preview the match that didn't go so well for us Inter fans in the end. But he's back again. Thank you, my guy, for coming on once again on the channel. How you doing?
Well, thank you so much for having me, man. Like last year, it was a pleasure, and this year, you called me back, which is great. It's always a pleasure, man, to see your work and how you've grown. It's inspiring, to say the least. So it's good to be here. And crazy, man. What a group again. Weird.
Yeah, very weird. I couldn't believe it when it was getting called out. Well, actually, as it was happening, as soon as we got Real Madrid, I was like, yeah, we're gonna get Shakhtar again. And then that one difference, Sheriff Tiraspol compared to obviously Gladbach last year. But yeah, even your growth, man. When you came on the channel last year, I think you've like doubled the amount of followers you have on Twitter, right?
Yeah, Madridistas love and hate me, I guess. It's a good relationship. It's funny. But yeah, man, it's good. Praise be to God.
So he's a recommended follow, guys. If you're on Twitter, put his at down below, Muddassir Journo. Yeah, if you want to hear Mbappe propaganda, all that kind of stuff, he's a good.
Mbappe's done. Haaland next.
Oh, is it Haaland now? Wow, he's this guy. I have to admit though, every propaganda you've jumped on has actually happened. You were on the Camavinga hype for ages. It happened. Mbappe obviously is going to happen, and now Haaland next up.
Camavinga's made me emotional, man. Like I couldn't have asked for a better debut. It was just fantastic.
Yeah.
You've been following a player since he's 16, like, and he comes to your club. It's different level, man. Like I was screaming at Modric to slide it into him. He didn't even slide it in.
Oh, he got it in the end. Who got in the house? We got the regulars. We got Badr in the house. We got Kuro Black says time to feast. A couple of guys moaning at me for being late. Come on, guys. I gotta build the hype up, innit? Like you gotta give me a chance to build the hype. And Indian timing as well, so you gotta respect me. We got a new channel member as well, Bokar Diop. Thank you, bro, for joining up and supporting the channel. Appreciate you. But yeah, Muddassir, man, let's get into this. Let's get into the match preview, Champions League. Let's get into let's talk about last year first, because we talked about the preview, but then we actually didn't get to talk after the match. What do you remember of that match? Like, how did you what struck you about Inter? Yeah, like how was your feeling after that match? We lost both of those matches, but how was your feeling in both of those matches?
Yeah, the first one was obviously very tough. It was 3-2 we won. I remember Rodrigo came on late as a sub to win it, probably like 80th minute or something like that. It was a weird match, man. It was strange because Real Madrid didn't really start the season that well. To be honest with you, the season was a bit of a write-off throughout. We just because of certain individuals and I guess Zidane's management aura, we somehow stayed alive. I don't know how we got to the last match day of La Liga and the semi-finals of the Champions League. Like that team shouldn't have reached the heights that they did.
Yeah.
But it was weird. I think this year's kind of Champions League group stage will be similar for both Madrid and Inter as it was last year in terms of the second match day between the two teams will be crucial.
Yeah, definitely.
The first one, obviously, is good to get your teeth into things and get going. But as far as I remember, I think the first match was more level, and then the second one we controlled.
Yeah, thanks to this guy getting sent off.
Vidal got sent off after half an hour, wasn't it? And then
it was like the 30th minute or something. He got sent off. Like it was.
Yeah, it's about 30 odd minutes, and then it made things easier. Cruz, when Cruz and Modric and these guys have control, it's game over, isn't it? But we haven't got Cruz this time, so it's quite worrying. I haven't actually seen a lot of Inter this season, so obviously we'll will bounce off each other in that sense. But
Mhm.
I'm confident going into it this
Of
year,
course.
as I was last year. I'm confident going into it. We'll see what happens, man.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you gotta be confident. I mean, I saw the squad for you guys that Zidane, Ancelotti called up. Where is it? Here it is. I mean, that looks stacked. Even with you missing Tony Cruz in there. Who else? Who else are you missing? Oh yeah, Bale at the moment you're missing as well. But that looks like a strong squad to me, right?
Yeah, it's a good squad. We've got Jovic. He's obviously got back Alaba and Jovic. I don't know if Alaba's going to start. I think he probably will go with Miguel again.
Yeah,
Hazard looked good yesterday. Yesterday he looked good. And obviously, I think Vinny and Benzema are going to be the main danger men for your back 4, 5, 8
yeah.
playing these days.
What are you telling me about this Miguel Gutierrez guy? Is he good?
Bro, he's very talented. Like Real Madrid's left back production is so good. Like we got rid of Reguilon, and everyone was saying we should have kept him. And like low key, some of the supporters kind of knew that we've got this kid coming through,
Right.
and it's worked for him. Like poor old Reguilon was still there. Obviously, Ferland Mendy came, and Marcelo wasn't quite ready to go out. But Marcelo looks like he's club captain, but it looks like his time is coming to an end, and it's his last season anyway. So
Right.
the timing's right for him, man. And like with Ferland Mendy's relapse today in his injury, yeah, he's got the stage. He makes mistakes. Obviously, he's young. He's gonna make mistakes. But going forward, the boy's a terror.
Yeah, I saw he had a cross for Benzema's goal. He was on pinpoint cross.
Yeah, he's a sort of like there was a moment where after he conceded the goal, he looked to rectify it, and got at the end of a Dani Carvajal or Fede Valverde cross at the back post for a left back to be going in for a diving header at the back post. It shows that he's got that passion which you want as a Real Madrid youth product.
Right.
He's got that in him. He's got like he knows that he belongs.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a really good sight.
Yeah, I mean, last year talking about your fullbacks as well. Last year, obviously, I remember we were talking about Hakimi, how you were like, gutted about Hakimi and stuff, and he was the inside man. He gave you the goal, the first goal. He gave it straight to Benzema for the first goal. and now he's gone.
And now he's gone. How do you feel about that? Actually, it's quite annoying, wasn't it? Inter got ripped apart in the summer.
Yeah, man, it's gutting to see. Hakimi, I think Hakimi one hurt more than the Lukaku one. Most people, I think, agree is the fact that with Hakimi, he's only 22, so you'd expect. Oh, sorry, yeah, he was asking you a question. You can answer after, but you would expect Hakimi to be, the best in his position for a long time to come. Whereas with Lukaku, we know he's 28. At some point now, he's going to get, on a declining phase maybe. But with Hakimi, he still hasn't reached, his best yet. So that was just, and, nowadays you really struggle to find good. I think fullbacks is a very difficult position to find these days, a standout player. So his one really hurts, the Hakimi one. But it is what it is. I feel like we've done a good job, though, in the market with very limited budget. Our directors, Auxilio, Marotta, like they did. Maybe on paper to you, it might not look that good, Dzeko being a 35-year-old, but he does the job for, for what he needs to do.
I've always been a fan of Dzeko. I think he's one of the most underrated strikers of the last decade. Like he's so underrated. Him and Mandzukic don't get the credit they deserve.
Yeah, definitely, bro. I agree.
And yeah, what you say, you replaced Hakimi with Dumfries, right?
So yeah, Hakimi out, Dumfries in, but Dumfries hasn't really been integrated yet. He's not. Obviously, he's going to take some time to integrate, but he might start this match. So it's rumored that this might be his first start against you guys, and then Dzeko in for Lukaku, and then Joaquin Correa from Lazio as well, who's not really a replacement for anyone, but just like an extra addition that Inzaghi really wanted. So, and then Hakan coming in for Eriksen, who obviously we know what happened to him in the summer of the Euro 2020. So yeah, overall not a bad window, to be fair. What's your thoughts on the Celta game? As Gerald asks, I watched the highlights. He looked really good.
Hey Gerald, yeah, it was a weird game. Well, we kind of accepted that obviously Real Madrid obviously had a terrible window in terms of getting rid of Ramos and Varane, and then bothering to do anything.
Yeah, that was really confusing. It's just like Alaba just seemed to be. I was expecting someone else to come in after Alaba came in. I was like, oh, okay, they're cooking.
Originally, I guess the plan was for Alaba not to be a central defender.
Right.
And I think him and his agent made that clear for him in the media plenty of times, saying he wants to join as a midfielder. He doesn't want to join as a centre back. But he's joined as a centre back because why not? Like it's not the end of the world. Like we've got Militao and Alaba there, but it's a massive downgrade from Varane and Ramos, isn't it? So, and that's obviously going to have an effect on how Real Madrid play. Ancelotti's previous tenure, we were used to this expansive style of football, which made us suffer in defence quite often. And that was with a peak Marcelo, Carvajal, Ramos and Varane. And this is clearly probably... I've started supporting Real Madrid in 2002. This is probably up there with one of the most worrying defences that we've put together.
Right.
Because one injury brings through Jesus Vallejo, and anyone sees my tweets, they'll know...
you don't rate him then, yeah?
What I think of him. Yeah, it's worrying. So, I mean, and it's continued. So the Celta game was a result of two errors where Celta scored their goals. Real Madrid love doing that. They love shooting themselves in the foot. Miguel made the first one, although the first goal could have been avoided on sort of later passages. And yeah, it's just mistake after mistake, and then the mistakes have continued this season. Actually, Alaves opening day, Militao's back pass meant Courtois had to go in on the Alaves attacker, brought him down, penalty given, penalty scored. Yeah, they need to cut these out, because when you start playing, obviously you guys and no offense, but better teams than Inter.
Whoa.
It's gonna get like you do that against Suarez and Griezmann, we're gonna get
of course,
choked, like so I'm worried. But then attacking wise, like we've been dreaming of this type of flowing football and free flowing, and it's without Cruz, it's so exciting as well. Somehow, like Cruz.
Whoa, are you saying Cruz throws down the play? Is that what you're saying?
No. When Cruz returns, obviously he's going to start, but I didn't expect Real Madrid to be playing such good attacking football so early in the season.
Yeah. Well, what's the differences between? Is there any clear differences at the moment between Zidane and Ancelotti?
Yeah, clearly, I think. Well, Hazard and Vinicius very rarely shared a pitch, or share the same flank, for that matter. But they share in the same flank. Hazard's got that free roaming role. It's just more. It's just quicker, It's just quicker in the build up. Vinicius is playing with. He looks like a man possessed right now. A kid.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing, a bit of backing. Like I love Zidane like my own father, Like, but Ancelotti is clearly given him something that is flying. And so, like, so many goal involvements already, goals scored. It's already his best season statistically. I mean,
is it already?
Match day 4.
Wow.
We scored 5 times, at least 5 times for the first time in 600 days at the weekend. It's good, and Benzema continues being Benzema. It's all coming together nicely. It just depends on how well Hazard can continue playing and evolving. Hopefully he stays fit. We've lost Bale now for probably a month and a half. But we need Hazard.
He's your Stefano Sensi. He's the guy your Bale. He's the guy who always gets some sort of muscular injury, right?
Yeah, bless him. Like he obviously, we thought he wasn't coming back because Zidane was staying. But yeah, man, I thought his hat trick for Wales might be a sign for things to come. You know, and I still think he's our best right winger, even this Bale. So I don't know what that says about Asensio and Rodrigo, bless them. But it's a loss. Like like attacker with that kind of experience, it's a loss no matter what people say. He can bring something, and Ancelotti trusts him. So yeah, overall, I'm happy with the Celta win. There were so many good things about it. Camavinga's debut, Fede Valverde coming back from international duty on a private flight and putting in the performance he did, absolute monster.
I love him, man. I think he's gonna be one of the best in the world.
Yeah, well,
already is.
We're so blessed to have him, man.
Yeah.
Like, imagine him playing for someone like Klopp or Pep or someone like that.
Everyone always remembers Bale for that match, man. That match, the Tottenham versus killing Maicon.
Maicon, bless him. Retirement aged Maicon against a hungry Bale.
Yeah, that was a.
That night, wasn't he?
Sorry.
He was playing left back that night, Bale, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, no, I think that was the time that they started converting him to like left mid, like left wing. Like it was the beginnings of that time when he started playing there, and then never went back after that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, he was so good, man, and it's a shame that his career's sort of come to a halt really early because of his injury and various other things on and off the pitch. Yeah, exactly. But he's served his purpose at Madrid, so I can't really respect him.
More than served his purpose.
So I'm forever grateful to him. But yeah, good fourth game of the season. We're top of the league, and things are looking good. And yeah, defensively we need to improve, but surely things will improve slowly but surely.
Yeah, no, nice. Thank you for that. And we'll get into like the predicted lineup. So you can correct me if I've got any of the, because I've only looked online, but I don't think any of the potential lineups are correct at the moment. So back four: Carvajal, Militao, Nacho, Gutierrez, Miguel, whatever you want to call him, or is there going to be Alaba slotting in there? What do you think?
Most likely, I think it depends on how fit Alaba is. Otherwise, Nacho will play. But yeah, that's how it will look.
And then what about the midfield? Valverde, King Luka Modric, and Casemiro. Is that right?
Yeah, that's how it'll be for sure.
Yeah, and then as you said, like Hazard, like drifts in, and Valverde like goes out wide a little bit, doesn't he?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like it almost becomes like almost like a 4-4-2, doesn't it?
Yeah. Valverde runs in those channels there on that right.
Yeah.
And Hazard combines well here with Benzema and Vinicius.
Yeah.
Vinicius doing the overlapping runs. It's working so far. I think that's probably how it will be. It just depends on Alaba, who could be the change. I don't think he'll throw in Camavinga this early. Isco I don't know if Isco will play.
How is Isco? Is he still chubby, or is he lost the weight?
Oh, he's lost weight surprisingly at the start of the season.
Pintus effect.
Pintus effect, yeah. That was the biggest signing we made.
I know you. This is one thing you always tweet at me the whole year, the Pintus thing, and then when you got him, you tweet at me as well. I was like, he's the most painful loss.
It was so bizarre because like it was almost like some like beef between Zidane and Pintus. Like
really,
yeah. It was so
two bold people having beef.
It was so petty. Like apparently, when Zidane left, he wanted Pintus to leave, and he didn't leave, and so he got rid of him and replaced him with Dupont, and then we became an injury football club.
Yeah, I mean, even when we played you last year, I remember you still had a lot of injury issues. Like throughout the season, you just had like loads of injury issues.
Yeah, every morning, if you didn't wake up to injury announcements, it'd just be weird.
But yeah, so in terms of Real Madrid's lineup, you confident with going with that lineup, and you think that's the lineup that will get the job done for you guys?
Yeah, I'm confident that'll be the lineup. I think if you guys control the midfield a lot more, there's chances he will make some sort of obviously in-game rotations. But I doubt he sacrifices the front three so quickly. Isco would play a part, and as would Camavinga. And yeah, hopefully Rodrigo comes on later.
Yeah.
The kid's got Champions League running through his veins. Like, he's so good statistically in the Champions League.
Yeah, I mean, as you was mentioned earlier, he killed us right at the end in the
It's
first.
no to be. It's crazy. Like, and also his strength is since he's arrived, he's not played to his strengths. Bless him. Like, he plays on the right where he's not comfortable. He's comfortable closer to the goal or on the left, which is where he was for Santos. But obviously there's an overbooking on the left and up front Benzema, and even the likes of Jovic doesn't get a chance. So won't stand a chance. But he knows where he needs to be on a Champions League night, and it's usually worked out for us like it did on match day 1, match day 2 last year.
Yeah, no, that's a really strong lineup, especially obviously that midfielder. They're just crazy good. I mean, Luka Modric, man, 36 years old, and this guy still plays. He hasn't even changed I was expecting him to, to at some point change his style of play, but he's just still plays the same amount of energy and running as he did before. And obviously the quality has never left him. He's just unbelievable, Modric, man.
Yeah, there's certainly a debate, isn't there? Like, is Luka Modric the greatest midfielder of his generation? He has to be up there. Like, you can't say there's no debate. He's up there with Xavi and Iniesta.
Yeah, definitely.
And he's still doing it. Like, Xavi and Iniesta 3 years ago, they were in.
Yeah, no comment.
And this guy is still like 36, nearly 37. Look at his level. I tweeted actually when he got substituted yesterday. Like, he's clearly, again, no respect to Zidane, he's clearly our greatest midfielder of all time.
Yeah, and I've always been in the Tony Cruz. I know there's not really like a it shouldn't be like a fan club or anything, but I'm more in the Tony Cruz like bit of the fan base. But over the last couple of years, like, Modric just keeps on going, and I'm turning more towards the Modric side now.
Different players, right?
Yeah, no, they're very different.
I say he's the greatest, but then I do also agree with you, because, and I've had plenty of debates about this with Madrid fans. I personally think Cruz will be harder to replace for Madrid than Modric will be, because although you can't obviously replace a player like for like. I'm not saying we're going to replace Modric instantly, but you can get Modric profiles, right?
Yeah.
A Cruz level profile in the modern day is very tough. And as Casemiro said in an interview a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago, he said, when Cruz wants us to speed up, we speed up. When Cruz wants us to slow down, we slow down. Like, he's the captain, right? He runs the show. You won't find that.
There's a dying breed. The Cruz type player is a dying breed.
Yeah, you won't find that. Like, in my what is it now? Nearly coming up to 2 decades of supporting this club. I haven't seen a player like Redondo play for Real Madrid again. I haven't seen a player like Redondo ever, apart from Camavinga. That's why I love him so much. And Cruz, like, these two are the two most unique players. Obviously, there's others, high achievers like Cristiano, like, who's going to replace Cristiano. But in terms of profiles, special, unique profiles, Redondo and Cruz, very difficult to replace, man. Probably impossible.
Yeah, no, definitely, man, definitely. Such you guys have been blessed with some great talent over the years, spoiled for choice. But yeah, moving on to back onto the match preview, bro. As you mentioned yourself already, and the issues that you had at the beginning of the season with your defense, this is really where I'm like looking and hoping that we target you guys, especially if it's Nacho, Militao, and especially Miguel Gutierrez, the young left back. I think that's probably a player that you would be worried about defensively, right? His inexperience and the defensive side of his game, as you mentioned. So it still needs improving.
Yeah, it's the rashness. It's the things that he needs to fine tune, right? Like things like, when do you go into challenges? When do you not overcommit? When do you, like his reading of the game's fine. It's the rashness, and you get that with Nacho. Like that's what led to the second goal. Nacho decided to be Sergio Ramos and go for a sliding where he didn't need to be, and that meant Miguel, who was further ahead of the he was in the opposition's half. He couldn't get back in time, and there was like a gaping hole in behind, and that's how the second goal was scored. So Celta targeted that. Celta, the success they got was behind the fullbacks. And I've no doubt players like Barella and these guys will look to open up Madrid in similar ways. Lautaro does like playing behind, like sort of behind the lines, doesn't he? He likes breaking lines and stuff. Correa has always struck me as a very dangerous player. He's the sort of player that I've always thought would thrive under the current version of Simeone.
I think he's definitely. I think he's 27 now, but I think if he had like more consistency in his career, he could have played for much bigger clubs than he's played for Sevilla, Lazio, now Inter finally. But it's kind of, I think he has the potential to be like a really top player if he just adds more goals and assists to his game.
He's got a lot of raw quality, hasn't he?
Yeah, like his dribbling, like 1v1, he can leave anyone for dead, and he's got so much to his arsenal. So yeah, I hope that this is going to be the front two, as you said, like with both of them. With Dzeko, what you're going to get with Dzeko. He's very technical, but he's not got that much. He never had that much pace anyway. He's not really going to stretch your defense. And since he's come to Inter, Dzeko comes like really deep to receive the ball, because he's good at receiving the ball and playing with players, but then we really lose threat down here. So I'm really excited to see, and the rumors are that Inzaghi is looking to start a Correa Lautaro partnership up front, which is been nicknamed the Cola. Last year we had Lula with Lautaro and Lukaku. Now is Cola. So we're gonna maybe finally see the first installment of the Cola partnership up front, and that really excites me, and I hope to see that happening.
Have they been in? So obviously Correa's made substitute appearances, I guess, so far. Have they been together in Serie A?
And they haven't got to play together yet. Correa came on for Lautaro when he scored those 2 goals against Hellas Verona, and then the last match against Sampdoria. I think by the time Correa came on, Lautaro. There was maybe just a few minutes or it might have been once again for Lautaro. I can't remember, but they haven't played together yet. They have played together for Argentina in the international break, and they combined for a goal. So they have, they seem to have a partnership for Argentina, and off the field apparently they're good friends as well. So that should help.
Well, it's the perfect night for Madrid's defense to turn things around, right? Or get worse. So we'll see. What's the latest with Sensi and Bastoni? Are they?
Yeah, Sensi's definitely out. And he's just unreliable. As I said, like he's the Bale of the situation. Just like he's much worse than Bale actually. It's a diss to Bale comparing him to Sensi, but Bastoni. So I've put a question mark here for the moment, because apparently he's not train with the team yet, and I wouldn't risk him either, because we have got a busy period upcoming as well. I would rather not risk Bastoni just to try to force him into this match, and maybe you get better performance in this match, but if you risk him for the upcoming matches, I'd rather not. So in the Sampdoria match, the youth team product Di Marco played in that position, but he's very much on I guess he sounds similar to how you describe Miguel. Like he's very good on the ball. Like his left foot is amazing. He scored a free kick goal against Sampdoria yesterday. Great left foot. Last season against with Hellas Verona, he was in like the top 5 in Europe in terms of chances created from set pieces. So like he's got an amazing left foot. Much better going forward, but I would be worried about him defensively. So I would rather not start him in that position. I would rather move someone like Darmian there, who's just reliable, Mr. Reliable. He'll just give you at least like a 6 out of 10 in that position. Even though he's not left-footed, but he seems to be pretty both-footed. I definitely don't want Kolarov. That's why I named it Please No Kolarov. The guy, I don't want him to see the pitch at any point this season. He's just going to cause trouble as he did last year, especially in big matches, and he's too old now. Let's just cut that short. So I hope to see either Darmian or D'Ambrosio, who also can do a job there. And he came on there against Sampdoria in the second half. Again, he's another Mr. Reliable. Him and Darmian and D'Ambrosio are basically like twins. They're almost like the same player. And then hopefully, and I think Dumfries, as you're mentioning, like if we're targeting Miguel Gutierrez, Dumfries with his physicality, with his pace, and maybe just a bit of enthusiasm, starting his first match at the San Siro, targeting Miguel. I would like to see that happening on that right hand side and build a partnership with Barella. That's how I see. And then everywhere else, I think it will be unchanged. There's maybe talks of Vidal coming in for Çalhanoğlu, but as we know with Vidal, he's got a bit of what do you call it, like a rivalry or like a bit of a something to prove every time he plays against Real Madrid, right?
I don't know what it is about him. He just goes into another gear against us. It's weird.
Yeah, well, the gear, you went into the reverse gear the last time round.
Quality gear. It's just a weird one. I remember when he was still at Juve. I was there at the Bernabeu covering that match. What was it? October 2013 must have been.
Yeah.
And you remember that dive he did? Like he kicked the floor and then he just
oh my God, that was embarrassing.
he's just insane. But I've always liked him. But as a player, like I've always liked him. It's just a shame now he's associated with Barcelona, so can't really like him that much. But yeah, he's obviously a very quality midfielder back in his pomp, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I get made fun of because I'm a bit of a Vidal fan. And he got a lot of hate last year, especially after the Real Madrid game. The whole kind of fan base turned on Vidal, which I can understand completely because he pretty much costed us that qualification, I would say, because he also caused the penalty against Gladbach. But overall, like this season, he's looking a lot better. He's looking a little bit physically. I think last year he was struggling, and this year he looks much better. But I would still start Hakan. I would give him the confidence to continue. We've signed him to be the Eriksen replacement, so I would like to see him start, and then Vidal, Vecino can always come in. Vecino, Valverde's senpai.
I think it'll be an exciting match, particularly if Dumfries gets the nod. Because Dumfries, Miguel, and Vinicius, that flank is going to be quite exciting.
Yeah, and Barella similar to kind of how Valverde, Barella comes out to the right hand side a lot, like almost like a right winger at times. So that's going to be a busy wing here with all that action happening, and Hazard drifting down that side as well. So it's going to be a busy side. So definitely want to watch out.
Barella was one of the ones Madrid Twitter was crying out for.
Really?
Summer.
This summer or last summer?
No, this summer.
Oh yeah, after the Euros performances.
This summer we had the money. How much like Inter needed the money? How much would they have how much would they have asked for? Like,
nah, with Barella's different though. Like he's in line to be the new captain now. Apparently he's going to sign a new contract, and next year after Handanovic goes, he's going to be made the new captain. So it's different. I think it's a little bit different with Barella being Italian and all. I think with Hakimi and Lukaku was kind of like I think in the end we knew that Lukaku, he's the one that has to leave, and I think Hakimi was just, he was only there for a year, and it's different when you have like these Barella supported Inter as a kid as well. So I think it's a little bit different when it comes to Barella.
But Madrid come
so hands off. Tell your Real Madrid Twitter buddies to hands off.
If Madrid come knocking with Ancelotti, you got Barella's gonna be thinking about it. Sure.
He's a different type of knock. I can't lie. It's out of all clubs in the world. I can't lie. The Real Madrid knock is a different knock.
It's a different knock, man. I'm telling you, like people have realized this year, like we're not at the moment one of the best teams in the world, far from it.
Yeah.
And yet we still are attracting the next generation, you know. It's just a badge, you know.
Yeah, no. This summer I think was definitely a reminder to people. Like, yeah, like no, don't forget about Real Madrid, guys. It's still that heritage is still there.
Yeah, we'll be back fully.
Yeah, Philip asks, is DeMarco healthy? Yeah, I think he just had a cramp at the end of last match. I think Inzaghi confirmed it was just a cramp, so he should be okay to start. But as I said, I would Ahmad said, tell you Madrid buddies, the Inter supermarket is closed. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Ahmad. I think next summer the supermarket is going to reopen again, so let's not speak too early. But not Barella, please, not Barella. Anyone else?
I got a question actually. What's the main sort of difference that you've noticed between Inzaghi and Conte so far?
Well, I was gonna get into that in terms of weirdly the Inter you guys played was the kind of more attacking version of Conte's Inter. So like when you guys played us at the beginning of last season, we were kind of there was no real identity to the team yet. Conte was experimenting with this 3-4-1-2, like he was trying to play this high line, as you saw from the goals we conceded, high attacking, high pressing, and it didn't work. And after actually we got kicked out of the Champions League, that's when we went back to kind of more of a real what Conte usually does is like a little bit deeper, you know, counter-attacking a little bit, absorb pressure and hit you back on the counter. So now Inzaghi he's definitely a little bit more of an attacking manager, and he said that he wants to, you know, bring attacking outlook. And we've seen there's a lot more freedom in the way the players play. Like the midfield is a lot more like there's a lot more rotation. Like so Brozovic can go a little bit everywhere. Çalhanoğlu will go around, or even on the right. Like Barella will go left, right. Like it's not as fixed as it was under Conte. So that's the main difference I've seen until now. But I think it's still early days. I think this match will be a big test to see like exactly like what is Inzaghi trying to do with this team, because I think European nights, you know, show really what your team is made of and what you as a coach, like what your identity, what your ideas are. And his Lazio team was pretty good last year. Like they got past the group stage against the likes of Dortmund. I had there and there. I think they had Zenit as well that they have in the group stage. So they had a pretty tough group, Lazio, and they got through it last year. So his European record is already better than Conte. So I'm fingers crossed. I'm expecting good things, to be honest.
Conte's European record just surprises me so much.
I know.
For the manager he is, and I love him. Like I love him as manager, but it's so strange.
It really is. It's I don't even know if he knows how to explain it. Like I don't know if it's some sort of mental block. Like you know how Guardiola's known to like overthink things in like crucial moments.
Like he had at cup competitions as well, because he did really well at Italy.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know what it is. Maybe he does overthink it, or maybe he just hasn't had the complete tools that he needs.
Well, that's what he always claims, but I think at Inter he was given pretty much everything he wanted. Like Inter is the team that's literally, you know, whatever apart from N'Golo Kante, which was the only thing we couldn't deliver to him. We gave him pretty much everything he wanted.
Yeah.
So yeah, he didn't really have an excuse in Europe. He just didn't manage to get that team gelled. But in my opinion, and I think a lot of Inter fans will agree with me, like if we played you guys in the second half of the season last year, we would have beat you for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, you played us in the second match was in November, wasn't it? Both matches.
Yeah, both. The first one was like October, then November, I think. So, and that's literally after we lost to you. That the second one with Vidal got sent off. That's when we went back to a 3-5-2 deeper. Literally the match after that.
It was both matches in November, because I remember it was a really tough month, and the 2 wins that we got against you were the only 2 wins.
Yeah,
we struggled in the league badly. Like it was almost as if we had given up the league title. It was like, yeah, so Valencia, Villarreal, and Alaves we lost to, or we dropped points to, and then Shakhtar, after beating you twice, we lost to Shakhtar as well. So yeah, those 2 wins were the only wins in November. So thank you for that.
We gave you that confidence boost.
I swear there was no confidence. It was just vibes last year. It was just relying on some individual brilliance.
That's what I mean. I feel like if you played at Inter that actually had an identity the second half of the season, and we wasn't playing like Perisic up front and stuff like that, we would have. I think we could have beaten you. Like when I watched you guys against Atalanta last year, I was like, wow, these guys are really just kind of going through, literally on vibes and like individual talent.
It was, it was literally that. It was worrying every game. It was like, how are we doing this?
And I was looking earlier this algorithm by 538. They usually do this every year.
This is very strange.
Yeah, it's quite strange. I wanted your thoughts on this. So Real Madrid are what, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, seventh favorite in this. Seventh most likely according to this to win.
But firstly, what are Barcelona doing above us?
That's the big question. Ajax and Barcelona, both of them.
And where are PSG? Why are they so low?
Yeah, that's why I'm struggling, because the algorithm is based on past performances. So, I mean, PSG have been doing pretty well last few campaigns. So I don't really understand how it's actually calculated this.
It doesn't take into fact the Messi, Neymar, Mbappe.
Yeah, I don't think the algorithm like calculates like what transfer moves they made. I think it's all based on like the statistical. I think it was over the last 10 years it takes or something like that. So it might be skewed, but I just wanted your quick thoughts. Like, where do you think Real Madrid are in terms of possibly winning this? Like, where would you rank them this year?
Well, we're not going to win it. There's no chance for that. But we'll get to the quarters, and then it just depends on, like last year, it just depended on the draw.
Yeah.
And it was a decent draw last year. Like Liverpool weren't that good. So we beat them. But I think obviously City, Bayern, Chelsea, that's 3, PSG 4 teams. I'd say with 5th, I'd put us.
Yeah, I'd say probably the same as well.
6th at stretch, but Atletico, I don't know about Atletico.
They got some good depth though this year, Atletico, man. There was benches stacked.
Squad, but it just depends if they can replicate their league consistency and late corruption recently in the Champions League. I don't think they can. But yeah, I think I'd put us 5th at the moment, and then it just depends on how well the squad fares. I guess Pintus's impact has been felt already.
A magician, man.
But you know, like fitness, like when you have a change in a regime, I guess you have that immediate impact, and then the positives sort of come through as the season goes along, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So by sort of January, February, we'll see what the squad's saying then, and hopefully Vallejo's not played a single minute, and we'll still be alive in both competitions. So we'll see, man. Yeah. But I'd certainly think we're ahead of Barcelona and Ajax. I don't know what they're doing there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree with that. And yeah, obviously, as it says, you're the most likely to win the group, and I agree with that. I think you're definitely the favorites to win the group ahead of Inter. I think we just need to make sure to secure second this year. I don't think Inter, like, we've got no excuses this year.
How did we have last year? I don't understand.
We literally needed one goal against Shakhtar. Like, we needed one goal against Shakhtar, and we couldn't get that bloody goal. That's all we needed.
That team wasn't 4th bad. Like, it wasn't. You know, like, you weren't great, but you're not 4th bad. I don't think.
No. That was the thing, yeah, with Conte. It was just like at that time, it just seemed like the team wasn't like, the identity wasn't there, and like, his lack of substitutions and things were pretty annoying. He didn't have Eriksen wasn't integrated properly then as well. Like, there was the whole Eriksen thing that he wasn't, in the team and all that drama. But yeah, no, this year, man, we have to get through. Sheriff, poor guys. I mean, fair play to them, first Moldovan team to come through the competition, all that, but. I think every team in our group needs to get 6 points from them. Like, no disrespect to them, but I already disrespected them. But you have to get 6 points there.
Yeah, it's a good chance for rotations, isn't it? That kind of match is a nice one.
Yeah, exactly. And as you talked about, the fitness and the regime stuff, we'll find out how the Pinto's replacement this year does. His name is Fabio Rippert from Lazio. So we'll see what he's made of, and let's see how Inzaghi rotates the team as well, because Conte wasn't that good at rotating the team. He's kind of always seemed to keep the same type of
That's one of the
team.
worries we've got with Ancelotti. Obviously, in his first tenure, he wasn't known for his rotations.
Yeah.
But so far, so good. Like he's doing well so far.
Yeah.
Long may it continue.
Yeah, I think Vinicius Junior and Perisic will be on the opposite flanks, because Vinicius plays on the left hand side and Perisic will play on the left hand side. Yeah.
Perisic knows how to show up in big nights, doesn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Perisic is a big game player. I'm not worried about Perisic. He's if you play him striker, like he scored against you guys last time, even though he was playing out of position, he just knows. Yeah, this is true though. We don't want Vidal near the box.
Yeah, Vini will win a penalty against him.
Yeah.
We want Vidal to play.
Sorry?
We want Vidal to play.
Hey man, put some respect on Vidal. I'm sure if he does play, he'll play well this time round. I have faith in my king, El Rey Arturo Vidal. People agreeing in terms of Barella needs to be the kind of the mainstay of this team. Like in Italy they call it bandiera, like the flag. So I agree with that. I think Barella needs to be that, unless
quite disappointing, isn't it? Like in terms of Inter's, like you did so well to win the Scudetto, and then it just fell apart, and then now you're kind of like, where are you now? Do you know what I mean? Like, are you good enough to win the league? Would you say?
Yeah. Because I thought Juve would be favourites, but they've had a stinker of a start in a pretty awful market because they sold Cristiano without really replacing them. I'm not going to count Moise Kean as a replacement. No one's really improved. That's the thing. Like Milan improved like depth wise, but Inter got worse, but no one else improved. So it's like the level is just about the same. So it's going to be super tight. Like the Serie A thing is going to be the tightest title race in Europe this year. And I think Inter are still favourites. I'll put Inter as my favourites to win.
Back to back, yeah, that'd be really good. That'd be really good. Even if you got rid of like 3-4 key individuals at that club.
Yeah, no, exactly, bro. As I said, I think we did great in the market. It depends on like, is the depth good enough this year and the injuries and things like that. But I think we've got enough. Looking at other teams in Serie A, I don't see too much outstanding team, to be honest. But the Vrij Benzema duel will be very interesting. Benzema, man, that guy's another timeless one. Like we were talking about Modric. Was he got like 9 contributions in his last 4 games or something? Benzema.
He's gonna eat the Vrij alive.
Yeah, okay. Well, this time we need to make sure that we don't gift you any goals. That's what we did last time. The Hakimi one, and then the second one we just fell asleep. Like corners, we're amazing at corners. Like set pieces, with the team that scores the most, and like we hardly concede because our team is so like good in the air and tall. And then obviously Ramos is like goated in the air, so I understand that one. But it was such a flimsy corner goal that you guys scored, and then the last one was just we were just stretched, and Rodrigo, as you said, he just scored. But those kind of goals, I don't see us conceding those types of goals if we're like, on it, properly on it. But my prediction is a 2-2, to be honest. Let's go into the prediction. I think it's going to be a draw, 2-2 for me.
I was going to ask. I wonder if it's going to be cagey or fairly like sort of open in passages, and how both teams sort of transition. It'd be interesting to see, man. It's obviously going to be a very different match from last year, like Zidane against Conte, 2 very different styles to Ancelotti and what you've already informed me about Inzaghi. So it's clearly on paper.
I think it's going to be open.
It's going to be an open affair. I think. I think we'll win. I think we'll win 3-2 again.
Going for a repeat once again.
I think we'll win 3-2. I can't 3-2 or 3-1. we'll concede 100%.
Yeah, if we don't score against that defense, man, that's embarrassing.
Yeah. I think you'll score
At home.
Yeah, you'll score once at least. But I'm gonna go for a safer one at 3-2, but I think it could be 3-1 to us.
Interesting. Nah, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like Lautaro, Lautaro and Correa, that partnership up front. I think the Argentinian connection is going to come through. One goal for Correa and one goal from Skriniar or De Vrij from a set piece. That's what I'm going for.
Skriniar's a lovely player, man. He's always dangerous in the air.
Yeah, he's improved so much, man. Like literally, I don't know if he's watched loads of Ramos videos, but over last season he scored like 4 or 5 goals. Like he's really, and even this season he scored one, and even in the last match, like he seems to always have that timing. Like Ramos just always gets the timing of the jump. He's always seems to get it right now.
Jose really wanted him at Spurs, didn't he?
Yeah, quite rightly. But as usual, Spurs were offering like, charity money, so
yeah,
that didn't go anywhere.
Did quite often.
Yeah. But yeah, man, that was pretty much it from me. That was a really nice conversation, man. Thank you for all your insight and everything, man. I'm looking forward to this match, to be honest. Anything you wanna plug? I've put the app for your own podcast already in there if you wanna plug that, bro.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. Means a lot. Yeah, I've started like my brother here. I've started a podcast for Madridistas to come on it and just discuss, really, because I know from my own experience in the past where if you're a smaller account, it's tough to get your voice across, and I find Real Madrid fans speak a lot of sense sometimes. Like there's a lot of Madrid fans who I follow and who follow me more so. They say a lot of interesting things in reply to my tweets. So I thought, you know what, this is a good chance to give them a voice, and also the Patreon contributions will go towards a really good cause, which is building water hand pumps in poor areas in Pakistan where families and kids have to travel and walk miles for clean water and in buckets, and it's just not nice. I during a recent visit to Pakistan before COVID, I saw it and it just made me sick to the core. Like water is something that every human should get. It should not be a luxury. It should be a basic thing. And so yeah, I'm very passionate about it, and you just want to leave a legacy, I guess. And I just want to play a very small part in a very big problem, and I just want to come up with some sort of solution. And this is my sort of attempt, really. So yeah, any support you can give me, that would be much appreciated. But thank you for having me on, man. It's been a pleasure as always, and hopefully you'll have me on next time as well.
Yeah, this time we'll do like a post, like after we played both times, we'll do a post like wrap up, and after the second match we'll talk.
Yeah, definitely, man. We'll do it then, because I think it's a more important phase, that second phase, because I think after we play you lot, we've got Atletico Madrid, Sevilla before. I think it's sandwiched between those two, and then you lot play Roma away. And then you come to the Bernabeu. So
yeah, we've got difficult fixtures as well, like in the build up. So yeah, that second one will be very tasty.
Like I said about 50 minutes ago. By the way, time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the second time we face each other is going to be the crucial one. I think they'll just spar this match.
Yeah. This is this is what I'm looking forward to. It's almost going to be just like an eye opener in terms to see like especially for Inter fans, to see where we are. Like we could compare it to last season pretty much, to see like, is this any better than like Conte's team, or like where we are? And obviously you guys, you can compare it to Zidane's team.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, thank you very much for coming on. As he said, man, you're doing great work with the work you're doing in Pakistan, and I'll be signing up to the Patreon for sure to contribute to that. So yeah, God bless for the work that you're doing over there. And thank you everyone that's come into the chat today. Very active chat. Thank you everyone that's contributed with your comments and questions and everything. Much appreciated. And make sure you guys leave a thumbs up before you leave to support the channel with the algorithm and all that good stuff. And subscribe if you're coming from Muddassir's Twitter or anything. If you're a Real Madrid fan, if you're interested in Serie A, Inter, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see hopefully positive match reaction from me afterwards. Yeah, Forza Inter, ragazzi.